Hi everyone, I thought I would come on and do an inspirational weight loss video today. Just felt guided. So I try not to focus too much on weight loss. I'm trying to focus more on whole body health, and taking care of our health is the number one priority. And don't always concentrate on the scales, because we are such complicated beings and our bodies are like more complicated. You can have those different times of the month, especially if you're a woman. If you're at your menses, your body weight is likely to be higher for obvious reasons, and then after that you would drop all that weight. And then there's other things that can happen, like you may not have gone to the bathroom for a few days, and then you've weighed yourself and you're like, holy cow, how did that happen? So the best way I feel to measure yourself is to get a piece of clothing and measure yourself for that piece of clothing. I'm not saying don't weigh yourself. You can weigh yourself and see the difference, and the best time to weigh yourself is early in the morning before you've eaten anything, and the worst time to weigh yourself is at midday or at the end of the day, because you've eaten a lot of food and your body is lots of waste in it. So don't do that to yourself. Best measurement, like I said, is to get a piece of clothing and go by that clothing. So some beautiful health tips as I'm learning on the way, because I like to think of my way of doing things as, even though I get guidance from wonderful trainers and wonderful nutritionists, I still understand that I need to listen to my body too, because they cannot do that for me. They cannot be here like in person with me to do that and track me and be over my shoulder all the time. It's about listening to your body's needs and wants and going inside yourself intuitively and listening to it. I know when I gave up sugar a long time ago, now if I go to have something sugary, I feel quite ill if it's too sweet for me. I don't do sugar so well these days. As I joke with a friend, I'm not 10 anymore, and don't really want to be hopped up on that high sugary drink. So yeah, sugar is a good way to release your weight and to increase your health. I'm not saying that you have to give up all sugar. I'm talking about processed sugar, like in breads and cakes and anything that basically is white. That's the way that I look at it, like white sugar. If you're going with a sugar substitute which comes from sugar, stevia is great. It's the best one that I know. It's natural. It does not have a lot of disgusting chemicals. Chemicals are another thing to look at, even though we have chemicals in our society. Trying to minimize the chemicals that our body is, like, getting absorbed into the skin and things like that. Try to lessen the chemicals on your body. Just do the best that you can. Try and go as organic as you possibly can, as clean food as you possibly can. And it's not only just about the food, it's about the movement that you get in the day. Like, you might have restrictive health issues and things like that, so you might need to do chair exercises. Any kind of movement is amazing, to say the least. Just because you might be in a wheelchair doesn't mean that you can't stay healthy. Of course you can, or you might only be able to move half your body. Of course you can still stay healthy. We all can. There are amazing athletes out there with disabilities, and they are just phenomenal. So you can do it, okay? Don't give up on yourself just because you might have a few issues. Work out how to work around them. The truth is, you know your body better than anybody else, because it's your temple that you've been given for this journey. And it's about coming back to our authentic selves and enjoying our health journey. It's not about trying to do 20 different things to please the rest of the world. It's about pleasing you, loving you, and understanding you. I can give you the guidance, but in the end it's just guidance, and you are the creator, you are the boss, you are in charge, as I've always said. And I'll also give you a crystal, a couple of crystals to help you on the journey and to assist you. So some beautiful crystals to assist you on the journey is one for self-love, which is your beautiful rose quartz, which I also recommend for children because I find it is the most gentlest crystal because it is pure love. It's like if a parent ever asked me what's the best crystal for a child, I would go with amber, which I have on here if they are teething and poor mum and dad are not getting any sleep. And I would go with rose quartz, which is pure love. But getting back to weight loss, rose quartz for self-love, and if you are experiencing problems with balancing out your eating and your eating signals, I would go with appetite crystal, blue apatite, which helps to suppress the appetite and work out a more better playing field for your hunger signals. Yes, indeed. And when it comes to alcohol, even though I don't drink alcohol, I understood back in the day that basically sugar was not the greatest helper when it came to things. Not that I'm condoning alcohol use during dieting, but you might go to a party or something like that, or a social occasion you just cannot get out of. And pardon me, I found friends on diets. It was soda water and vodka was one of the best options. Like the clear spirits are the ones to stick to, with like a soda water, which has got no like sugar in it or anything like that. And if it's too strong, maybe get them to put a bit of lemon in and take your stevia with you if you want to add that little whoosh into it, just to give yourself that extra boom if you're at a party and you feel like you just want to have one drink. And that's the best option anyway, without affecting your weight too much. We're not talking 20 vodkas down the track. You're talking you still need to count the drinks and put them into your daily intake if you are going to a social occasion. It's all about remaining smart on the journey to health. As they say, it's just about finding the balance, listening to you, understanding you, self-love, and yeah, you're not going to be perfect all the time, and that's okay. Sometimes we fall off the wagon, but I find the best thing is don't deprive yourself. Find the substitution that doesn't destroy like all your work, you know, like if you're at a party, work out the best substitutions for you, like the healthiest, the less fat, the better. And one thing I do with dips is I'll put cottage cheese in. Some people say yogurt, but if you're dairy, oh yeah, we need to find the other dairy-free option. The other dairy-free option for me is coconut yogurt. It might be a bit higher in fat, but if you measure your portion size, you should be able to get away with that in your daily intake. Just check your fats, which are weighed out for the day. And so instead of putting your cottage cheese into the dip, as they tend to do, or the Greek yogurt, put your coconut yogurt in and just add that into your daily fat intake. Maybe you need to like let go of some other thing in that fat intake to be able to have that dip that day. But it's all about balancing and working out what works for you. What works for someone else is not going to work for you. And fats are not a bad thing. It's about working out what are the healthier fats, what are the less healthier fats. Like the trans fats are the ones to watch out for, as they tend to be the nasty ones. And then the good fats like avocado and omega-3s, you know, in your fish, they're the good ones to look at. So yeah, do your research, dive in deep, like make a friend with food instead of making it evil. And try not to watch so much of the television's advice because it's not all good advice. Do your research. That's what I've always said. Dive deeper, understand who you are, understand what your nutritional needs are, and keep loving and being your best self ever. Mwah. Love and light. Stay gorgeous.